This is Hannibal from thehannibaltv.com with a daily combat sport news update video. I did previously do a video regarding Ted Hart, I guess, being charged with strangulation. I forgot to note in that video that apparently he's going to be held without bail at Richmond County Jail until April 24th. And if you want to hear the whole story from Ace Montana, who was the guy that pulled the gun on Ted yesterday, just search it up on my channel. I interviewed him yesterday. Hopefully I'll get Ted's side of it one day. WWE has finished taping the Wrestlemania matches. According to the Wrestling Observer, I guess Braun Strowman replaced Roman Reigns against Goldberg. There was pretty much no build to Roman Reigns versus Goldberg other than a really lame contract signing, where the most interesting thing that happened there was Goldberg threw a table, but it was in front of no fans in an empty arena. They didn't even do the contract signing anywhere cool. So although there was probably the most interest in the match, as it's the two biggest stars facing each other, as far as Goldberg's a big star, Roman Reigns, they've been pushing for a long time. Braun Strowman, I guess, replaced him. The finishes haven't been leaked out yet. Braun Strowman did make comments regarding independent pro wrestlers and like WWE legends. I guess Evil Uno, one of the Dark Order, who's wrestled for Great North Wrestling in the past, had made a post saying that fans should consider donating to like the Patreons of some of these out of work wrestlers. And Braun Strowman, who has never wrestled on the independents, responded with a rude comment saying those people should get real jobs, even though all real jobs, other than grocery stores, liquor stores, hospitals, and most places, my job's shut down, are closed. So it was really rude. He's never been on the independent scene. Braun Strowman, apparently, according to Dave Meltzer, makes $2,200,000 downside guarantee with WWE. So the minimum amount of money he makes is $2,200,000. Apparently, according to Meltzer, he was hired by WWE straight from the strongman competition. So he was hired under a contract just to train. So this guy's never been on the independents. He's lucky he's the size he was. That's the only reason he got his contract. And him bitching about independent wrestlers out of work. Let's look at a guy like Shane Douglas, who was supposed to wrestle for PCW Ultra tonight, and I know he had other bookings this month, all canceled. There's a guy that makes decent money on the independent scene, and like this guy's losing big payouts because of this virus. So very insensitive thing for Strowman to say, and he is a spoiled guy. To basically, development contracts are at least $750 US a week. Strowman could have had a bigger contract because of his size. So yeah, that's my opinion on that. I could beat that guy easily in an MMA fight, and I would love to do it, but he's making over $2 million a year in WWE, so that's probably not going to happen. In other news, The Miz is sick, so he was out of WrestleMania. His match was supposed to be The Miz and Morrison against the Usos, and it was changed to a ladders match with one of the Usos wrestling Morrison. The pay-per-view price for WrestleMania on Verizon is going to be $59.99 for each for both shows. So basically $60 each night, $120 if you want to watch it. Comcast is offering $39.95 for day one and $59.95 for day two. You would literally have to pay me $500 like per day to watch that. There's nothing that interests me. There's Strowman against John Cena, not Strowman, the Fiend against John Cena. Since John Cena is such a company guy and he's a movie producer, I would expect that Cena would probably put the Fiend over since the Fiend lost against Goldberg quickly. Not a fan of the Fiend from what I've seen. Very hokey gimmick in my opinion. So yeah, that's pretty much the news of today. Changes to WrestleMania, and that's about it. The news is probably going to get less and less with everything being canceled. I'll answer Surrey Jack, $120 USD, yes. No thanks. No thanks, Alan Sidorn says. And I just have to say, these empty arena matches are so boring to watch. I already am not a fan, but watching it in an empty arena is just really, really boring. And it only reminds me of this situation we're in with more and more of our freedoms being taken away all the time. It actually is just sad all around. Chad Thomas, Vince is going to lose money on this WrestleMania. He should have postponed. Well, I don't think he's going to lose much money because they're filming this in front of no crowd. He probably got a refund on the stadium, and they're charging $60 a night for people to watch. They still have to pay those wrestlers their downside guarantees no matter what. So you may as well make the pay-per-view revenue off of it. But it very well could be the worst WrestleMania of all time. Mal F.A. actually just says that this will be the worst WrestleMania of all time. Sam Len's shoot fight or promo fight. If you're talking about what I would like to, how I would like to fight Strowman, shoot fight, 100%. He's not tough. When we saw in the Royal Rumble a few years ago, Brock Lesnar hit him with 2 or 3 live rounds and he just took it like a bitch. If he had any, I understand that, yes, Strowman couldn't beat Lesnar in all likelihood in a shoot fight, but at least try. If someone punches you in the face legit, at least show us that you're a bit of a man. Don't just take it like a bitch. Strowman talking shit, but they miss spots all the time, Chad Thomas says. Oh man, these Maria and Ted unfiltered adventures are crazy. Wednesday Wrestling Wars said, I wonder what's going to happen if Maria is going to take all those YouTube videos they made down. PWC 24/7, who's going to watch that garbage show anyways? Specifically during this time where nobody's working and most aren't earning a check. Exactly. Most of us, as I said yesterday, I really appreciate all you viewers because my regular job is closed down. The only income I have coming in right now is YouTube income. So I thank you guys for your views very much. Jungle Cat Stevens says, I'll just use the WWE Network free trial again. It won't be a great show, but I'm curious as how bad it will be. Well, I know they are offering some type of free trial right now, but from what I understand, it doesn't include all the content. WWE needs someone like Conor McGregor, I think Alan Sidorn says. Well, I'm just going to continue reporting on the backstage stuff, but for the company itself, it's boring to me. Really boring. The backstage stuff is somewhat interesting. But as I said, I'm going to keep covering other topics too. I'm not even going to say this one, but I'll say one last comment. Could it be worse than WrestleMania 27? Tom Gibney says, I don't even remember WrestleMania 27. I stopped watching a long time ago, like WrestleMania 15 or so. I've lost interest in WWE a long time ago. I think the last full one I watched was the Mike Tyson WrestleMania, which was at WrestleMania 13. I think that was it. Is Jon Jones getting suspended from UFC? I doubt it. Highly doubt it. And I'm for him not getting suspended. If he fucks up enough to keep facing outside issues, Why should that affect his UFC career? Yeah, he isn't being a good role model, but if he's not in jail, why not let him keep fighting? There's people out there that want to fight him. He is very possibly the best fighter in the world right now. So let him keep fighting. If he does something bad enough to force him in jail, then that's it. A lot of people don't like Ace Montana on here. That's your prerogative. As I said, I'll get other versions of it, but obviously Ted was formally charged by police with strangulation, and Ace Montana said that yesterday before this came out. So obviously he knows a little something about what happened yesterday. So I'm going to go out, do my run, use my punching bag. Last night I finally took a break from running and did some indoor training stuff. They're saying now here that this lockdown could go on until July, which would really, really suck. Oh, Ryan Bachmann said he loved the Ace Montana video. So someone loved it. I will say one thing for some of your comments that he was long-winded. Yes, he could have told the story shorter, but he literally went into great detail of the whole situation. So I thank him for that. As I said, if Maria wants to talk to me, I don't know her at all, and I don't know if she'll be legally able to talk about this if it's going to court, but I would love to get her version of him. Wednesday Wrestling War says Ace was great. Good for him. Richard M. predicts this coronavirus lockdown will end in 2021. Ryan Bowman says Teddy has a lot of issues, most of them from the neck up. Well, I don't know. Obviously, he's not right. I was getting some weird text messages from him shortly before his arrest in Virginia for having, I guess, allegedly drugs in his car, like some very bizarre messages that didn't make sense. And then I haven't heard from him since. So yeah. And basically, Harry Smith, Ted's cousin, is the one that sent me that video of Ace Montana in the first place. So Harry, I know, has found Ted's behavior weird lately too. We all hope that he can get better and get help. So we'll close it at that.